Good morning, church. This is Bob Myers. Glad to share with you today as we continue our study of the Bible. And today we're starting the book of Philippians. And Philippians is one of the most beloved books by the Christian church because it has so many beautiful verses that are easy to commit to memory, that have such strength and such promise and such depth of the knowledge of God that are just precious to us. And I'm sure that many of you have memorized many verses out of the book of Philippians. Philippians was written by Paul from prison. It's one of the prison epistles, and it was written to the church at Philippi. And Paul had started the church at Philippi. When he went there to preach the gospel, the Jewish leaders stirred up the people, cast him into prison. And at midnight, he and Silas were singing praises to God, and there was an earthquake, and the jail opened, and the Philippian jailer came in and was saved. Paul led him to salvation, and the church was started there. And this is a very intimate letter from Paul to the church at Philippi, sharing his heart, and it's God's heart to us as well. When I was in college, I studied with the Navigators, which are a strong discipleship organization. Fellowship, and we studied through the book of Philippians one time, one of our Bible studies, and our leader encouraged us to write an outline, make an outline of the book. I don't remember anything about my outline, but I do remember Stan Miller's outline, and it was very simple. His outline of the book of Philippians was fight the fight of faith to the finish. The book of Philippians, fight the fight of faith to the finish. And so looking at chapter 1, we see that Paul introduces himself, expresses love for the Philippi church, and a couple of verses that stick out. I mean, again, many verses in Philippians that stick out to us, but chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. He started a work in us, and he will perform it. He will complete it. Take heart, brothers and sisters. Be encouraged. God is going to complete his work in us. And then as he shares through the first chapter of Philippians, then in verse 21, he says, Paul's testimony, for to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. Paul says, it don't make any difference to me if I live or die. If I live, you're going to get Jesus. Is Christ living through me? If I die, I'm just going to go to heaven. Man, what do you do with a guy like that? Well, you just love him and receive from him. And, his testimony, for me to live is Christ and to die is gain. Beautiful verses in the book of Philippians, chapter 1. Be blessed today as you read through it and study God's word. Don't forget to vote.